Hey everyone, Sean with the New Columbia Movement here with an important and rather unfortunate video update. So if you've been following us for a while, you remember about a month or so back we made a post regarding James Younger. This is a young man who's been caught up in the middle of an unfortunate court case between his biological father, Jeff Younger, and his non-biological mother, Ann Georgolis. I believe that's how you say her last name. And the crux of this court case is that his non-biological mother is trying to claim custody and is trying to force him into a gender transition surgery because she claims that he identifies as a female. She refuses to call him by his biological name, James. She calls him Luna. She buys him dresses. I mean, she does. This is a woman who's perverted at the core, and she is projecting that perversion onto her child, an innocent 7-year-old boy, who is going to have to deal with the ramifications of life-altering decisions, something that can't be undone by a mother who is mentally unstable. And what's the unfortunate update? Well, the jury sided with the mother. 11 out of the 12 jurors, 11 out of the 12 jurors sided with the mother in granting her custody. In Texas, supposedly the bastion of conservatism, Texas. And what are we doing about it? What's the fix here? I mean, this poor man, Jeff Younger, is heartbreakingly having to go through an entire court case just to keep his son, as a man, just so he can grow up and live a normal life. And he's made the arguments, right? He's made the arguments that his son doesn't have any interest in becoming a woman. He doesn't. He's claimed it multiple times. There's video evidence of him getting rid of the dresses, not wanting to be a woman. Even in woman company, he's not interested in it. But that doesn't really matter, does it? Because we're not basing a court decision on the impulses of a child. When have we ever done that for anything? If the impulse of a child is to eat himself to death and sweets and candies and stuff, do we do it because it's what the child wants? No, we don't. We've never done that. Yet when it comes to something as critical as altering the biology of a young man, James Younger, suddenly the court is on the mother's side. And so what are we doing about it? See, this is the distinction between the left and the right. And I'm not going to use the tired old phrase of, well, if the shoe was on the other foot, if the roles were reversed, how hypocritical, yada, yada, yada. The truth is, if the shoe was on the other foot, the left would be out there at the courthouse. I mean, they'd probably be doing something destructive, right? Like burning down the neighborhood or something like that, because they tend to act out when they don't get what they want, because they embody the psychology of a child, because that's what they are. They're grown children. But as Christians, as conservatives, this is state-sanctioned child abuse. State-sanctioned child abuse. Now, I want to be clear for a second here, because the court has not granted the gender transition surgery. Okay, they gave her, oh, I can't remember her name, Ann Gorath, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't want to. They gave her access and full custody, essentially, and pretty much all decisions. The one limiting factor was she can't give him the gender transition surgery. But you know darn well she's going to do everything up to that line, treating him as a girl, destroying and psychologically abusing him by trying to convince him that he's something he's not. And 11 out of 12 jurors agreed with it. And the poor father on the sidelines, able to do nothing because the state has sanctioned it. What are we doing as Christians, as conservatives, as people who care for the natural order of things? What are we doing about it? It's not over yet. I'm not here to say that we should be giving up hope. We certainly shouldn't. So what I would encourage you to do, and I'm going to link it below, there's a website where you can donate to a crowd fund to fight this. And we need to get in our heads right now. about how we're going to deal with these things going forward. Because again, the left would be out on the streets rampaging over a court decision that didn't favor them. Now, we're not the left, we're better than them. But why aren't people in the local communities knocking on the door of the courthouse, defending this child's right to grow up and not be abused by the system, to not be abused by his non-biological mother? It's sick. And it's about time that we as Christians, men and women who understand the natural order of things and who are not willing to let this country sink down into state-sanctioned degeneracy, to get out there and to do something about it. Right now. It's not convenient. It's not comfortable. I don't care. We are done with comfort. We are done with conveniences. It's time to fight back. Now, if you're in the local area, I highly suggest organizing amongst other people and starting to make some phone calls. I highly suggest supporting Jeff Younger in his battle against the state and against his ex-wife. I highly suggest organizing protests in defense of this young man. If we're complicit in this, we're just as culpable. Help fight to save James Younger.